Hello, this is Noreen from Joya Cards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! For more of my Stampin' Up! Card videos, please click that subscribe button and the little bell, and you'll be notified when my videos release. Anyway, now let's go make a card. So today's card is my Stampin' Up! Garden Birdhouse card tutorial. Yay! Anyway, this is a cute little fall card, and I kind of really like this set. I like the birdhouses and the little cute birdies. And it's pretty easy to make. All we're going to really use is this stamp set. We are going to be using the detailed trio punch and just paper and ink. So let's go ahead and get to it. The base of the card is going to be just a 5.5 by 4 1/4 in early espresso. And the first thing we're going to do is take our detailed trio, and there's a corner punch on here. So you just take your card, and I've already folded and scored it, and we're going to punch that out and round these corners real quick. So I'm going to do that. So you just line it up within the pieces here and just punch down and just continue on. Just keep going and going and going like this. And that's how you do that. The next piece we're going to do is the inside. We're going to do the inside first. And by the way, I am a big fat liar. We are also going to be using the layering circles. We're going to use the scalloped one, the largest one and the smallest one. But anyway, let's get back to this. You're going to need a piece of Beauty of the Earth, and this is going to be cut 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to do the same thing as we did to the base of the card and just do our punches here to round those corners just like that. Here's all your little scraps underneath, and we're just going to go ahead and snail it up inside this card just like so, and put it on in the middle like that. And then with those 2 layering circles, like I said, it's going to be the largest one and the smallest one that is scalloped. And when you die cut that, you're going to get these 2 here. Now this one, we can go ahead and snail it up and put it in the card. Now lately, I've been doing this thing with not putting any sentiments inside my card. And that's because when I go to get a card, and I have a lot of cards, and by the way, you can win the demo card. I have 2 demo cards that I give away. If you're a first-time subscriber, like and subscribe, put your email in my comments and say you want to win the card. And by the way, I know for a fact that most of my subscribers are demonstrators. Come on down, demonstrators. I have no problem giving you a demo card. This is awesome. We're all a community, right? So anyway, so I went ahead and put that one in. And with the little scallop die, we're going to take that one and we're going to get the bird, and the one that's standing like this, and we're going to go ahead and stamp him in memento. Let me just find my birdie. Here's my bird, and this is a clear stamp, so you need to use your Stampin' Pad. I even like to stamp on my Stampin' Pad and just put him there in the middle. And without, with me not putting sentiments in my card, I've been kind of doing more inside my card. And I like actually doing stuff in my cards because, just because it's not on the front doesn't mean it doesn't need to be cute too. And then we're going to be using colored pencils today. And this one is, I think I want to do the early espresso. And I'm just going to color that little birdie in. And then we're going to take our blending markers here, and then we're just going to blend it, because with watercolor pencils, they look fantastic with the blender pens. So get one and make sure every time you use one, you make sure that there's nothing left over on the tip from the last time you used it. And go ahead and just smooth out all those colors, and it looks really pretty. And then go ahead and snail this up. I'm using my silicone craft sheet. If you don't have one of these, oh my gosh, get one, because it keeps your work area clean. So if you are a demonstrator, these 2 things a must, especially if you're a new demonstrator. All my old demonstrators are going, duh, Noreen, we know that. Anyway, so that's how you do the inside. For the front of the card, you're going to need 3 sheets of paper. This is Beauty of the Earth. This is cut 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And by the way, all the measurements are in the body of the description of my video. So just go down to the show more under the title, and it'll bring everything up. So it'll bring up all the supplies I use, all the dimensions, everything. And if you're a demonstrator, case it, use it for a class. That's what the internet is for. That's what sharing is for. So absolutely no problem. Go ahead and do that. So that's that dimension. And then we need a piece of early espresso. And this is 3 5/8 by 4 1/8. And a basic white. This is 3 1/2 by 4. And we're going to get our detailed trio out again. And I'm going to round all these corners. So I'm going to go ahead and do all 3 of these, and I'll be right back. All my corners are rounded, and we can go ahead and put the DS onto the paper. So I'm just going to snail it up. And I did make sure the trees were going the right direction. So I'm going to put it on the thing. So it'll look just like that. And now we're going to put the early espresso to the side, and we're going to start our stamping here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab this tree house here, and you can grab, I'm just going to use the ink we're going to use for the branches and everything, and I'm going to stamp out that birdhouse. And then I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut it because we are going to make a background here, and I want to use this as just mask. So go ahead and get out your scissors and just fussy cut it. Now that you've got your mask, you're going to go ahead and take the branch, and it's of course obviously the big branch right here, and we're going to stamp that up. And I'm using a piece of scratch paper underneath my basic white here, so because I'm going to stamp off. But this is soft suede, and we've got it all inked up, and I want it pretty high up, so I'm going to put it right there. And of course I'm using the Stampin' Pad because this is a clear stamp. And then I'm going to get the string that holds the treehouse onto the tree, stamp that up in soft suede as well, and get it right here. Now if you happen to miss it, go ahead and take, if you have any of these Stampin' Write pens, if you're a demonstrator, get them. I know they're kind of expensive, but it's every single color. There's a very fine tip on it. If I happen to miss there, all I would have had to done is draw that line, where this is more of a painty, and the Stampin' Writes aren't that fine of a pen anyway, but these are great to get these. So if you're a demonstrator, they're worth the investment to get those. If you're an avid stamper, you should get them anyway. So I'll put, like I said, they'll be in the description of my video. If you're not a demonstrator, you can actually click on things and place an order directly on my Stampin' Up site. So anyway, so we got those, and then here is that house that we had before, and they're all soft suede, and I'm going to stick my head in the camera because I want to make sure this is in the right spot, and go ahead and stamp the birdhouse. Now that everything is stamped, we're gonna sponge the sky, so that's why we needed the mask here of the birdhouse. So I'm going to take, this is the Tombow, it's the one in the teal one, and this is great for masking because it really doesn't stick to anything. It's kind of a, yeah, it's a terrible tape to use to actually tape things down, but to mask is great. Now that you've got your mask on your treehouse, we're going to do the background, which sounds crazy because I didn't mask the tree, but the tree's so dark that it's not going to matter. So go ahead and use your Stampin' Up! Blending brushes, which are on the list of the items in my video description. And we are going to, you stamp on the, you tap on the stamp, you tap off on some scratch paper, and you circle in. And you hold the blending brush just like that. And we're just going to do some blue. And go ahead and take it all the way down to the bottom, just like that, and get it to however dark you want it to be, like so. Now that your background's done, go ahead and pull your mask off on your birdhouse and just wipe it, make sure any of that crummy little Tombow glue isn't on there. Now we're going to go ahead and color the branches and the birdhouse. So I'm going to take my early espresso watercolor pencil, and I'm going to do the branch just a little bit here. All right. And then I'm going to take a combination of crushed curry, Cajun craze, pumpkin pie, and cherry cobbler watercolor pencils. And I am going to take each color and just give it like a little just a little scribble on a bunch of leaves. So you're going to literally mix this color all together. So each one gets a little scribble just like this. So that's cherry cobbler, not real red, cherry cobbler. And then Cajun craze is another really good one. And we're going to scribble that on every leaf. Now I'm on crushed curry, and I'm going to do the same thing. And crushed curry is a little, it's light. So I'm going to fill in the rest of the leaf with the crushed curry. And then the last color is pumpkin pie. Now pumpkin pie can be a little dark, so I'm not going to scribble as much, and just kind of fill up any gaps you might have. And we are going to take the blending pen next, and we're going to blend these all in. So I've got my blending pen. I wiped off if anything that might have been on there, and I'm going to do the leaves first and just go over the leaves and blend those colors. If it's not blending, then your blending pen might be old and dried up. You left the cap off or something. So don't use it. It won't work. It's got to be a wet blending pen. And just fill in all these leaves, and they really turn out quite pretty. And if you want to have a little more red or whatever, you can just put more red in there and adjust it how you want. And then I'm going to go over, I'm not even going to wipe it off, I'm going to go over the branch too. Now if you hit any, as we're coloring here, if you hit any of the outline of something, it'll blend it, so be careful. But I do want to do the branch here, and that's how you do the leaves. Now we're going to do the house. Now the first one I'm going to start with is crushed curry, and I'm going to do the little perch here, and then I am going to color in the house. And I'm going to try not to go over the lines. I'm going to try to color those rectangles in. So the siding of the house. So I'm going to do the siding here, and I'll be right back. Now that's what that looks like. And the reason why I started with the crushed curry is because I wanted to do that perch first, because it's such a light color. You definitely want to do that first. And then the second one is Cajun craze, and I'm going to do the roof and this awning for the door and the base. So here's the base. Here's the base. And while I was cut there, I missed this little part here in the Cajun craze, or in the crushed curry. So I did that one. And then now I'm going to do the awning over the door like that. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the roof. And now the front door. And there's a little tiny part above the front door that I'm also going to do in cherry cobbler, not the real red one, but cherry cobbler. So let me color in the door. Now the fun part, grab your blending pen, make sure there's nothing on it, and I'm going to start with the crushed curry, with the lightest one first. And the blending pen just really fills in all the white gaps that the watercolor pencil leaves, and just does a really pretty finish to it. So start with the lightest color first, and I'm almost done with the siding here. And then I'm going to go to the crushed curry. I'm not even going to wipe it off because it doesn't matter. And do around the awning here, and then the roof. And it looks really pretty. And then to the door. And that's what the birdhouse looks like. It's so cute. Then go ahead and bring your Stampin' Pad back out. And we're going to use the grass right here and this bird right there. And we're going to use cinnamon cider. And we're going to use mossy meadow, because this is a fall card. So not all the grass is green. And then we're also going to bring back the soft suede. And we're going to grab the grass first, or actually, you know, I'm going to grab the bird first. So let's grab the bird and put it in our soft suede. I'm a liar again. I use Memento. Memento is for the bird, just to make him stick out a little bit more. So I'm going to put the bird right there. And I'm going to grab that early espresso and I'm going to fill in the bird and then take the blending pen over him. Here's the blending pen again, and we're going to just blend the little birdie in there. All right, so we're done with that. Now we're going to go for the grass, and we're going to dip into the mossy meadow, and you're going to go stamp, stamp, stamp. So 3 stamps per dipping it into the ink, and this will give it more of a dimensional kind of thing. And then after you're done with that, you're going to take your cinnamon cider, because it's fall, and you're going to make some fall looking kind of grass here. And because it is fall, you're going to take the little leaf stamp here, and we're going to take the soft suede, and we're going to make some fallen leaves. So just like that, that, that. So you got your leaves in there, and while the ink is still out, we're going to grab the sentiment of birthday wishes and in the soft suede, and go ahead and stamp that right next to the birdhouse, like that. And then back to the colored pencils, just do what you did to the leaves on the tree, and just give each leaf a little color. First, do the blending on the leaves on the bottom, like that. And now we're done with all our inking. Now we just need to put everything together. Yay, the fun part. Now we're going to grab our piece here and just nail it up and put it on the early espresso piece. Don't forget, I give away the demo card, so if you like the card, please like and subscribe and put your email in the comments, and you'll see if you win the demo card. Now, I had you put this down, but you know, I'm such a liar this video. I want you to pull it up a little bit because we need to put a ribbon on it. So just go ahead and measure out a piece of ribbon that's a little longer than the card. I always like to put a piece of snail in the middle of the ribbon when I put it on a card, just to kind of keep it where it's supposed to go. And if you have, like, if you pulled something up and you have to put it down for a minute, put it on your silicone craft sheet, because then it'll keep it from sticking to it, because it won't stick, see? And then turn this over. We're going to snail the back here and put the ribbon over, and now you can snail it and put it on the card. Sorry about that. And just, I mean, everybody does that. I mean, gosh, you just, you know, you learn to pull things up nicely. And just put it right there in the middle like so. And then we're going to take this and we're going to snail it. I thought about putting it on dimensionals, and I thought, nah, I don't want to do that. Sorry, quick tape change. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it all the way on the left. And I'm going to give myself some room here, because I'm going to take the ribbon and I'm going to tie a little bow. So my super technical fancy way of making a nice little bow, because that's kind of cute. And all ribbon is not alike, but this ribbon is actually really good for doing bows. So I do bunny ear, and across. Now, when I cross it and pull the one on the right under, I also take the one on the left and put it under the ribbon like that. And that, I think, is a trick that makes it turn out just a little better. And then you're going to have to spend a few moments doing your, you know, getting it to the right size and shape you want. So I'm going to fiddle with this for a second, and I'll be right back. And that's like the perfect size. So I always leave my ribbon on the spool when I am tying my ribbon, because think if I have to start over or whatever, then I'm not wasting a lot of ribbon. And then just cut it off and grab a glue dot. Now, I've been using these little glue dots that you get from the paper pumpkin kits, and they're fantastic because they're not as thick as regular glue dots. I wish they would sell these. These are awesome. So I use them on like those bumblebee trinkets and anything like this, because they're just fantastic. So I'm going to take the ribbon and put it on the side like so, and then I'm going to grab these in color square gems, and I'm using I'm going to use the small one. So I'm going to take the brown one and put it here, and a small yellow one, and put it there when it wants to stick. Hold on. And put another one over here. And that's the card. So don't forget, like and subscribe, and put your email in the comments and say, hey, I want to win a demo card. And if you're one of the first two, because I give away both cards, I'll get your address and we'll go from there. So that's the card. So thanks very much. Bye.